Very good. Anybody have any questions on this? Yes, Councilor Cullen.
Just a comment, and I've given Councilor Nemeth a heads up, so I'm voting no. Just very briefly want to mention why. I do want to compliment the committee. They put together really a quite excellent report. Of the kind of volunteer reports we've had, it was the best that I've seen in the 4 years I've been on the council. I will say, to my ear, sometimes as we've discussed this issue, I have sometimes heard a bit of a sense that people who deface public and private property with spray paint are somehow misunderstood artists merely trying to express themselves. I ran on the community trail a couple weeks ago. There are all sorts of examples of graffiti out there marring what is really otherwise a great corridor for outdoor recreation in our community. In this week's city manager's report under legal counsel, there's mention that city attorney had to assist the library recently with managing a graffiti problem there. I really think that our approach on this issue should perhaps be a little bit longer in enforcement to the extent that's possible with a complicated issue like this, and a little bit shorter on excusing the behavior. Secondly, we've had a bit of a run of a proliferation on the creation of standing committees in recent years. I think this is the fourth: the Health Board, Racial Equity, the Housing Commission, and now this. And meanwhile, let's acknowledge we're having trouble getting quorums on some of the regular standing committees that we have. Last week, or the last council meeting, Deputy Mayor regretted he couldn't give us an update on the Rec Advisory Board because they hadn't had a quorum at their last meeting. Several of us had the experience working with the Utilities Commission recently where they failed to have twice quorums at joint meetings with the Ordinance Committee on an important issue, which is to say the stormwater utility issue. There's nothing wrong with having temporary ad hoc committees that do their work, issue a report, and sunset. In fact, in Democracy in America, Alexis de Tocqueville 200 years ago observed that this was how they did it in the U.S., that you'd often have volunteer groups who would come together for a specific purpose, address it, and then disband. So I just suggest that we might consider something of a moratorium on the creation of these, put sunsets on them, and acknowledge that perhaps we've got a lot of committees in the city. Thank you for indulging me.
Anyone else? Any comments? Yes.